Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing good and I hope you liked the previous video in the series where we discussed how to shortlist US universities and what's the fee structure and what are the requirements to successfully apply to these universities. Now in today's video, we're going to discuss three different things. One is what is an F1 visa, how to apply for F1 visa, and finally, can you work on F1 visa on campus? So without any further delay, let's jump onto the video right away. Now, a very important step in this process is F1 visa, right? Securing a student visa so that you can come to the country and start your studies here and then graduate. So, and I'm pretty sure both of you have gone through the process. So if you can maybe tell a little bit about your experience, maybe both of you can talk about your experience and what was the procedure, how to apply for it, like what are the documents that are needed. That would be really cool. Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe Poojitha, you want to go first, and then we can
Yeah.
hear from Pradeep.
So, firstly, like when you're applying for a F1 visa, you know that it's a student visa. So it helps you, and this is determined based on like what course you're taking and how much duration that is for. And the basic documentation required for this is similar to what you have when you're applying for the universities. So, first of all, you need to complete your online visa application, which is like the DS 160. Um, so, before that, you need to also schedule an interview, right? So, you need to get an appointment. So, one thing that has changed, I think, from the recent times is getting an appointment. Due to the COVID scenarios, I've seen like a lot of people not being able to get an appointment with the F1. And it's not only that, I think they have also changed the rules recently that if you're rejected once, that you cannot apply again within a year for F1 application. So there are certain rules that have been changing in recent times.
Right.
So first of all, complete your DS 160 form, and then after that, you go ahead and schedule an interview. And if you're able to do that, you'll have like two different things. One where you're going for your fingerprints and your photo, and then the second is the interview with the visa officer.
Mhm.
So the basic important things are the documents.
Mhm.
So apart from like your passport, you need the DS 160 form, and you need like the application fee receipts, and the financial documents, which are the most important over here. So you need to be able to prove to the visa officer if they ask you in an interview that how will you be able to maintain your finances in US. So you need to show them like if you have a scholarship letter, a loan, or if you're just having like your family fund, you need to show them income proofs and etc. So
Right.
these are some things that are required. And you also have the I-20, which you receive from the university. Um, so I think these are the basic requirements. Um, Apart from that, you the next thing is go for your fingerprints, and then depending upon the interview time, usually you have like a 1 week gap for your interview after your fingerprints.
Okay. Mhm.
Oh, yeah. And then for your F1 interview, I think the basic questions they ask is mostly like, why did you choose this university? And like, why not others? And why only this course? So you need to be able to just explain them uh, why, and like be specific upon not saying things like just because I wanted to go abroad or something. Like it should be specific to aligning with your goals. And
Right.
then I think after that, they mostly ask about your finances. That's been one thing that I've observed with a lot of students, international students. They definitely ask about the finances. And then you just need to be adamant when you're putting up proofs out there. But apart from that, I think once that is there, and if your visa is approved, they take your passport.
Right.
So that's how it goes. One more thing that prospective students wonder about is working on an F1 visa.
Yes. Yes.
So I think for that, usually you have on campus like employments, and this you can. I know that a lot of students don't know about this, but you also have like CPT and OPT, which you can start while you're a student itself. So
Mhm.
CPT is like practical training during your course, and then OPT can be before or after, depending upon the employment that you receive. So you can apply for both while you're an F1 student as well.
Right. Wow. So that was really good. So your experience was pretty straightforward. Like what universities you were applying for,
Mhm.
interview experience, and why you chose IU over the others, and
Yeah.
awesome. And in terms of the documents from the universities, I-20 and the admission letter are the two things that are required, right, to file your DS-160.
Yes, those are the two things that you require. And apart from that, if you get any additional scholarship or on campus like RA work or anything, so you also need to provide those documents.
Pradeep, can you also share your visa experience? Like, how was the interview process? Was it simple, straightforward, like Poojitha's, or was there any complications, like we see in some cases?
Oh, I mean, all the pre-process until the interview is exactly the same. And the interview is actually, I mean, I know like students outside right on the line on the queue when you meet all these like other students, and they're all like anxious about like, oh God, I'm not gonna get through this.
Yes.
Like you also get that anxiety as you get into the interview.
Yes.
But then it was more like a chill chat between another person. And actually, I think my interviewer was really confused. Like, why did I mention two individual universities? Because I know IUPUI has Indiana University and then Purdue University, and he's like, "Those are two individual ones." Like, I'm not sure. Are you sure which one you're going to? And I was like, "Yeah, it's a group collaborative university." Um, but as I was explaining it to him, he got more confident that I like actually invested my time into like going into this and why not. But it's a really like basic process. You just gotta be like tell them like what you actually want to do, and I think it got over in within like 5 to like 6 minutes, like the actual process. But yeah, all the steps are exactly as Poojitha mentioned. Yeah.
Right. No, that's yeah. I think when then I went back for my interview, it was same 3 or 4 questions: which
Yeah.
universities you applied for, why you're choosing IU over the others, and what course you're enrolled in, and how long is the course would be. So I think that was something that I also faced very similar questions. So I think yeah, that's good that it's still the same. So that's really cool. I think one thing that Pujita kind of touched on is the working on the F1 visa, right? So a lot of people in India or in other parts of the world who are planning to come here have this question. So is it easy to find a job on campus? That would be my first question. And the other would be, if yes, are there websites on the portal that you can start applying before even coming to the country, or you have to be in the country first, do some documentation before you can apply for these jobs? So if you can, like either one of you can touch on that, that'd be really, really, really helpful for people. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So if I could go first, it so I mean, the initial agreement was on the application letter itself. For at least most of the master students who come in here, they get that they need to do a research work in any lab for at least 10 hours per week to begin with, and they would be paid for it. So you would, if you're a master student or like any I mean, graduate student, you're going to be having like a definite 10-hour job at hand when you come into IU. So that is something that I've seen in, at least in the bioinformatics department, that I've seen it. And for me, I initially in my first semester, I thought I wanted to, because I think you're eligible to work about 20 hours per week on campus. So I got my other 10 hours from working as a barista in a coffee shop in Barnes and Nobles. There
Great.
was like an online JAG jobs link, which is like present in the one.iu.edu, which is again like a portal for all IU students. And it's a job portal where all sorts of jobs are present and you can apply online. But one of the basic requirements when you're applying for other jobs is your SSN, which is something that you need to get within like the first couple of weeks as you get into the work. I think all the instructions on how to get an SSN will be like clearly given to you by our, I'm not sure what the title is specific, but like we have like an administrative office which does a really good job. Yeah, it does a really good job about that. And so you need to go to the government office, which is in downtown Indy, and you could apply, just write an application letter, and they would also, the administration office would give you a letter telling like, this is the employment ID and number of hours, the supervisor's name, and all that stuff with a letter attached to it. Right. So you're supposed to provide that along with the other documents like passport, visa, and no, I don't remember all the order of the documents, but there are like a bunch of them. Yes. And then I think proof of residence, which is already, yeah, I-94, and yeah, all that documents together, and then you provide it to the official over there, and then you would get like an SSN number, which is basically your it's a social security number, which is kind of like not really sure how it works. I don't have any comparative point back to India.
Aadhaar card in India.
Okay, like the
Aadhaar card. They call it the PAN number in India.
PAN number, yes, there's a PAN number.
Yeah, PAN number. So it's like, it's like a document that tracks all your employment and all the stuff you're doing in US. So, which is pretty important, without which you can't apply for other jobs on campus. But yeah, so that's been my experience.
Awesome. Poojitha, any points that you want to add to what a wonderful thing that Pradeep told about this working on campus?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. Like we have like portals. I'm sure like the other universities as well provide same number of portals where you can look into on-campus jobs. Right. So yeah, it should be pretty straightforward once you're getting with the university. But if you want any particular research work, you should be getting it with your admission, or maybe after you come here, you can reach out to professors for working with them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I think maybe if you got an admit, you can even start contacting some professors, see if the lab has some work that you can assist once you come to the country. Yeah, I think that's great advice. So working on campus is legit, and you can do that, but working off campus is not allowed. So you shouldn't do that. That's against the law. That's great. I hope you liked today's video, and shortly we'll be releasing the third video, hopefully next week or after that. We have a surprise video coming next week. So if you are interested in watching the travel videos, please do watch the next video, which will be coming very soon. And the third video that will come in the series would be talking about housing, and finally the fourth video will talk about how to find internships and how to apply internships in US. So I hope you're liking this video series. If yes, please do like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Stick around. Thank you so much.